From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now here's Mahomes. Got a man. It's Tyquan Thornton. 30. 10. 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Touchdown! Robbie Anderson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. On play action, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes dumps it off to Mixon. And he's going to get this down near the 25. And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep here for Allen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On the return, Carter. The ball comes out.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Jeremy Chin picks it off. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They go play fake. Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Here's Allen. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now a second down and 6. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, why don't we look at the defense? They came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second and very short, Mahomes, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Albert O, 28 yards. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this off... There he goes, left side! Touchdown, Giants! A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Pat Surtain. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Second and 4. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Allen has it, left side. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Eric Ebron, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to cut into that deficit. Badgley on for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you know, you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw to a target and get that pass away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Returnable now for Allen. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to get it back here just past the 35. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Goes right back to Smith again. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he will have a Chiefs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Taken in at the 11. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Yannick Ngakoue. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Here comes Carter. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't
And now here's another interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. With the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very... And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Mixon hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Here's Mahomes, third and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They go play action here on first down. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs will take... possession here up at the 44.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
Mix it up the middle.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Giants will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 43-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Here's a give to Mixon. He'll get this down to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Thornton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 9 now. He's got Allen. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Now here Here's a throw that's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Back to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And yes, folks, that is his 5th interception, a new NFL record.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. I just have to flat out applaud him. What a great effort in this game. But let's face it, when you look back at the numbers of guys who had 4 in the past, you'll find the names of some of the greats and some guys who just had a fantastic game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Touchdown! Albert Okwuegbunam. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. This ball complete into the hands of Anderson across the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he gets this to Thornton. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
That's complete yet again to Thornton. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future.
And my goodness, another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A great call there and a big run on the draw. 49 yards. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Flushed out right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Giants force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Moss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Right back to Moss. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Chiefs, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.